2022 European long drive champion tests the all-time longest drivers.
342 carry.
Today we have the pleasure of the 2022 European long drive champion Bry Roberts on the channel to test some of the greatest drivers of all time when it comes to long distance. We're talking high launch, low spin, and the fact that this gentleman has had a season riddled with injuries and he's still been able to take the win 4 weeks ago goes to show the caliber and quality of this guy going forward. I'm incredibly excited to see what he does in the future, but for now we get to see his thoughts, ideas and ultimate ball speed with some of the best drivers that have ever been produced in our era.
He's giving a clinic whilst I'm here. The animal that is Bry Roberts. How are you doing, pal?
Not bad, mate. How are you?
We're down here at the Belfry. Yep. I haven't told you what we're doing today, but we're going to be testing some drivers. Thank you for taking the time out. Incredible season, by the way.
Thank you very
How's
much.
it been going?
Yeah, it's been good, yeah. Time to recover now, get ready for next year, get rid of a few injuries and we go again.
Now, hopefully you haven't used all the fastest club head speeds this year up, because I've got some absolute gems and beauties for you to test, and I'm dying to know, what is your favourite ultimate long distance driver? I've got some of the go-to drivers here today, some of the classics.
Yeah.
We're going to get some numbers on the GC3. I'd love to hear your feedback, which ones feel good, sound good, and then ultimately we're going to hit some bombs.
That's all it's about, hitting bombs.
Now, you've been playing golf for a while, haven't you?
I have.
And you'll be familiar with the club that I am handing you.
Very familiar. I used to have one of these.
Did you?
Yeah.
I'd say that driver, arguably the best looking driver when it first came out as well. It just looked like Darth Vader, essentially.
Yeah, I think it was the first stealthed out driver, wasn't it, on the market, and everyone wanted it. And I bought it, and then one of my friends skied it. And the policy, if you sky it, you buy it, so we had to buy it. So I didn't have it for that long.
Realistically, 70 to 60 pounds on the second-hand market. And thank you to the guys down at Replay Golf that source all the great drivers that I have here today. I'm very excited to see what numbers we're going to post with some of these beauties. 190 ball speed.
That was it, good, that one.
Outrageous numbers. Right, the oldest competitor to start with, and also this got a stiff flex, unlike the other ones that got X flex, so it wasn't the fairest test. Still 190 ball speed, which is ridiculous. Yeah. Out of 10, what are we saying?
Feel, out the middle, it feels just as good as anything today, so probably a 10 out of 10.
Nice.
But I hit one slightly low, and it didn't feel great, so I think with the forgiveness of this drive is not as good as today's, but out of a rating out of 10, I'd give it a solid 7 overall.
Nice. Right, next up for the punishment, I've got a classic 917 D3, so the smaller head, opposed to the D2. Not known as the longest driver ever in history, but I love this pound for pound, £100 on eBay. I think it has the full package. I'm very excited to see how you think it compares to the other animals that I've got in the bag.
Never actually hit one of these either, so it'll be interesting for me to see how it feels as well.
Oh, nice. Ripped.
That was it, good.
192 ball speed. Jesus Christ. Now, obviously, that's got X-Flex shaft in it.
Yeah.
How does that feel overall compared to the R7? Do you like stiffer shafts when you're playing?
When I play golf, well, I used to, but since I've been using flexion shafts and stuff with autoflex and playing golf, this feels a little bit different for me to time. So the R7 probably felt a little bit better with a stiff flex. And
again, that's the whole thing. You find the right shaft, right loft for you. Doesn't necessarily matter how new it is, but more that confidence and timing. So big in golf. Right, the Bry rating out of 10.
Not as good as the TaylorMade for me. I'm gonna have to go. It's not. I'll give it a 6. It's
6 out of 10.
It's not bad enough to be a 5, but we'll give it a 6.
But if you had a budget of £100, you're pocketing the 30 quid and going R7.
I'm going R7 over this one, yeah.
The most expensive and modern driver we have in our test today, but again, I had to put this in. It's the low spin version, the LST, but the G400 I think is just one of the best drivers for every golfer. If I gave this to a 6-year-old or 20-year-old, long hitter, short hitter, the G400 for the shafts that they have is just a good match, and I'm interested to see what you think. Low spin, X-stiff shaft, is it any better? Is it the same as the other two, even though they're slightly cheaper, let's say? Yeah,
again, another club I haven't hit. I've always been put off by these little turbulators or whatever they call them on the top.
Yeah.
But I do hear they're very consistent, so it'll be interesting to see.
Hit. Right, fastest ball speed recorded with this Is that because you're warming up, or is that because you felt like you could go after it a bit more? How did it feel?
Good as a TaylorMade, to be fair, but
mate, the TaylorMade's coming out on top of the
yeah,
moment.
it is, to be honest.
The sales of R7s are going to go through the roof soon.
Yeah, but I think the difference with this and the R7 is because this is newer. The technology in the head's a little bit better, so often it hits it a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
So if they were the same price range, I'd go for the Ping.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it this. I'll give the same rating as a TaylorMade, a 7 out of 10. But this is 20 quid more, 30 quid more. Go for this so far.
The next two I have for you are goated in terms of distance gain for the masses. High launch, low spin. The next one is an absolute beast. I'm interested to hear your thoughts because you're a big Callaway man.
Yeah.
Great Big Bertha Epic, Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero, 9 degrees.
This got to be up your street, isn't it?
It's pretty much similar to what I actually use now, so it'll be interesting to see what this does, yeah. Any more with that one?
133 club head speed, 349 carry. That is launched. For someone like yourself, especially that swings it so fast, it must be difficult to find heads that obviously can spin at the right amount for you.
Yeah.
So my question, especially with some of these heads, the reason they were so good and gained distance is because they could launch it, but they kept the spin down.
Spin down, yeah.
What do you think of this one? Is this one better than the others in terms of that case?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. This is highest ranking so far. Felt better because of the extra weight port in the front of the Sub-Zero.
Yeah. Interestingly, ball speeds, you basically to 193 with every single one.
Yeah.
Right, I've got a feeling this might beat the 7 out of 10 Bry Roberts standard of approval.
I'm going to go higher than that. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. With the extra weight port in the front, when you hit it off the face, it just felt a lot more solid. And obviously you can see by the numbers, it went further because the spin was a lot lower. So for me, this is number 1 at the moment.
Right, there they are, the 4 of them. Titleist, Ping, Callaway, R7. I have one more TaylorMade driver for you to test today.
Yeah.
Loft up, I believe, was the saying way back when. We've got SLDR, TaylorMade driver, 10.5 degrees, so it's going to probably be a bit of a disadvantage to the Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
But I'd just love to get your thoughts. This was a monster back in the day. People struggled to get this thing airborne.
Yeah, this was a low spin monster back in the day. I think it was the first time they brought out this, well, obviously the sliding weight, hence why it's called the slider. It drops the spin massively, and this was known as the bomber's driver. So be interested to see how far this goes.
Interestingly, longest carry of today, but your ball speed is almost a bit slow. Well, it's definitely not slow, but interestingly, because that launch and carry is just on the money, outrageous distance.
Yeah.
I was just saying to Bry, it was outrageously good test and great swinging from him because he got 193 ball speed, maxed out with basically every single one of these drivers, all different head types, all different shafts, all different ages, and obviously how expensive they differ from each other. The last one, the SLDR, what we saying? 8 out of 10, and considering you probably get one of these for £100, this is the cheapest, beating the G400. Similar money for a good SLDR, so 80 to 90 pounds. What are you saying out of 10?
When I hit it well, it's just as good as a Callaway, but I'm going to have to score it a little bit lower because I do feel with this extra weight here, it's not as consistent, so it's going to be a lot harder for a lot of golfers to do it. So when they do say loft up with this, you definitely need to loft up because it's a spin killing monster. So we're going to go 7.5.
7.5
so it's
out
the
of
second
10
best
for the SLDR. And on top, by 2022 long drive champion, European champion Bry Roberts, this is the winner.